The following video contains material that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. A question I often find myself asking is this the real world? Is this where we still are? As far as we've come, this is where we still are. This is what we're still doing, and this is still how we're going to keep doing it. And so I figured if I was going to be mad about it, you guys could be mad about it too. So join me in a little collection I put together that I titled, Is This the Real World? So one of my favorite apps to use is Reddit. And so here I was, minding my own business on break, just scrolling through Reddit, when I come across this, and it was a link to a tweet by Jillian Brandstetter. It says, 28 women held at an Indiana jail are suing after guards gave the keys to their cells to incarcerated men in exchange for a $1,000 bribe. In exchange for a $1,000 bribe. She also writes that after the women initially reported the October 2021 incident, guards retaliated by putting the prison into lockdown, leaving the lights on for 72 hours and confiscating personal and hygiene items. She goes on to link a story about this from Channel 13 News. The lawsuit alleges that an ex-corrections officer gave male inmates keys to access the female side of the jail, which allegedly led to attacks, threats, and the assaults behind bars. And as previously mentioned, the lawsuit calls it a night of terror. The now former corrections officer, this piece of shit right here, David Lowe, who is facing separate criminal charges for what has happened here, is not the only one mentioned in the lawsuit. The lawsuit also alleges that the violation of the plaintiff's constitutional rights was the result not only of a single bad actor, Lowe, but also due to a systematic failure on behalf of the Clark County Sheriff. On a separate lawsuit that was filed on June 21st, which involves 20 women listed as the plaintiffs. In that federal lawsuit, the women also claim that the alleged attack by male prisoners went uninterrupted for hours. They were harassed, assaulted, threatened, and completely terrified. And I'm reading all of this off of the article that she links here in this tweet. And they did have a copy of the lawsuit that you can see for yourself. And I'm going to link that lawsuit below for anyone who wants to read more about it. So now I'm going to take you guys over to TikTok, where our next story comes from user Lauren Johnson 332. And this is going to take place in Lakeland, Florida. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a version of the original video that didn't have music playing and, YouTube. So I'm actually playing this from somebody else's TikTok. But let's look and see what happens.
Lily, just don't resist. Lily, don't resist, honey. It's okay. I got you. What is the state statute? Lily, you're okay, bud. I got you. Mom's right behind you. You're okay. Don't resist.
My name's Renew, 7-6.
What's their names?
Oh, they have to tell you that.
All right, hey, guys breaking the law.
Hey, you're okay, bud. Mom's right here. Lily, you're okay.
What's your name, sir? What's your name, sir? Why is 6801? Oh, wow.
What statute?
Don't hit me.
Now, because this isn't the original, it did miss a little bit in the beginning of the video, because in the original, you can hear the child, and let's be clear here, she is a child, tell the police officers that she's only 13 years old. And so after this happened, her mother, Lauren Johnson, uploaded a response to what happened. So let's take a listen to that.
So I'm getting ready to go pick up dinner, but story time quickly. The video that I posted of the kids in the car just got a violation for bullying and harassment. The irony in all of this, the irony. Also the irony in all of the fireworks that are going off in the background. But quickly, protest this afternoon at our local downtown park. It was peaceful. There were counter-protesters there, as seen in the video. We had people share their stories about how overturning Roe versus Wade affected them and how they feel that the decision is wrong. They were standing up and using microphones. Once we started to make a circle around the park, the officers decided that the microphones were problematic. My child was at the front. There was a flag upside down and a pride flag as well. And she had a bullhorn. And she was screaming, "My body, my choice." And when they came around the corner, they decided that they were going to, I guess, make her their target and arrest her. As you guys can see, she immediately started screaming that she was 13. I was very close behind her. It was very evident that I was her parent. They could have easily handed me the microphone. Instead, they chose to terrorize a 13-year-old. They detained her. They put her in a car. They took her down to the police station. I was not allowed back there with her while she was in there. And they released her with a summons to appear. She's out. I'm freed. We will be at the protest Thursday with a new bullhorn.
So yeah, I'm definitely just going to link her entire TikTok channel below. I would suggest definitely going over there and watching her pinned video, where it shows that Lily, once released from the big house, went right back to protesting. And remember, in the words of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the decision whether or not to bear a child is central to a woman's life, to her well-being and dignity. It is a decision she must make for herself. And the last story we have for you today started on Twitter, every troll's favorite place to go. It all started in a now deleted tweet from Representative Matt Gaetz out of Florida, who just wrote "dander raised" while linking to a Twitter status from Newsmax. However, in this tweet, he also attached a photograph of an abortion activist by the name of Olivia Juliana. I had to go look it up to see what awful thing he had said. So it says he blasted abortion activists in a rant to sure to raise dander of his political opponents, saying things such as, "Have you watched these pro-abortion, pro-murder rallies? The people are just disgusting. Like, why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb." Gaetz called abortion activists overweight, unattractive, and very unlikely to need an abortion. These people are odious on the inside and out. They're like 5'2", 350 pounds, and they're like, "Give me my abortions or I'll get up and march and protest." And I'm thinking, march? You look like you got ankles weaker than the legal reasoning behind Roe v. Wade. A few of them need to get up and march. They need to get up and march for like an hour a day. Swing those arms, get the blood pumping, maybe mix in a salad. So in response to Matt Gaetz body shaming her by using her photograph while linking to that article, she came back with, "It's come to my attention that Matt Gaetz, alleged pedophile, has said that it's always the odious 5'2", 350-pound women that nobody wants to impregnate who rally for abortion. I'm actually 5'11", 6'4", in heels. I wear them so the small men like you are reminded of your place." And what she's alluding to here is back in 2021, news broke that Representative Matt Gaetz was being investigated by the Justice Department over whether he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old and if he paid for her to travel with him. I was unable to find where any charges have been brought against Mr. Gaetz in this, but as we know, these investigations can take a long time. But not only did she put him in his place with her words on Twitter, she's also turned this into an opportunity to raise over $1.5 million for abortion funds. And honestly, she couldn't have done it without you, Matt Gaetz.